Hello everyone, welcome back. It's a cold, wintry, snowy, kind of freezing cold day in February here in Western New York, so let's go inside and talk about seeds. And we got some really cool stuff for the garden this year that we're going to make some videos about as the season goes. So let's head inside and talk about some really fun and interesting new crops for 2025. So we got some really neat things. As you know, if you've watched our videos in the past, we're big fans of Baker Creek. I just like the selection that they have, and just the selection and the fact that they have a lot of things that you can't find anywhere else. So parsnips are one of my things this year. I've never had any luck with parsnips, and so I've tried them a few different times. So this year I got two different kinds, the Harris Model, two varieties, and the Hollow Crown. And so we're going to see how these go. I mean, we grow carrots and everything else with really good results, but for whatever reason, parsnips have been tricky for me. I've tried them a few times. I've never got a single parsnip. So this time I'm going all in. I have two different varieties here, and we're going to see how those do. I'm really excited because we like to eat parsnips. So we're also going to try this amaranth. You know, amaranth is one of those like super greens, and we eat a lot of cooking greens and salads and things, and so we're always looking to expand. I mean, we'll eat Swiss chard all summer long, but we're looking for just something to mix in a little bit. And this is a heat tolerant green, which is nice because a lot of our kale and things like that will bolt. So this amaranth looks really cool. It's like a spinachy kind of green, and it'll be fun. Then we got this bean, the succotash bean. Now, I've learned from some of the comments on some of my pepper videos that sometimes Baker Creek, their descriptions, you know, are as much marketing maybe as reality, but this sounds like a cool succotash bean. Comes from a Rhode Island native tribe, so sounds kind of fun. If nothing else, it'll be a fun bean to make succotash out of, so that looks like a cool one. This kale caught my eye in the catalog because, as I mentioned, we get, once the weather gets hot, kale likes to bolt. It likes cool weather. So this one is supposed to be the Sahara kale, really suited to really cold temperatures, but also really hot temperatures, and do well. It almost looks like a collard green kind of kale. Now, we've grown moonflowers before once. I made a video on them, I think, but moonflowers are a really fun thing to grow if you've never tried them. They get these gigantic white flowers that open at night, and they're extremely fragrant. They're a beautiful, cool thing. Now, we grew them in a pot. We had a big pot, and they climbed. They're a vine, so they climbed up our pergola. So they're a lot of fun. Don't eat them, as it says. They are poisonous. These lima beans, I've never grown lima beans, but I used to love lima beans, so I thought this is a famous bush variety, doesn't take up a ton of room, is very productive, so that'll be kind of fun. We've gotten more and more into growing radishes lately. We eat salads every day for lunch, and so there's nothing better than growing radishes in your garden. I'll make a bunch of videos on them, but they're one of the easiest things to grow. The Cincinnati market just looks like a cool radish. The longer ones tend to be a really good flavor, so those will be kind of a fun one. I had to try this Ayote green flash squash. You keep seeing videos on Facebook if you follow Baker Creek, but I saw these last year too. Now they take 125 days. They have a heck of a long season, so I hope we are able to ripen them here in Western New York where we are. But just the idea that it's so sweet that it's almost like chocolatey. When you bake it, I'm intrigued, and just the color of it, it looks cool. And we have good luck with squash generally, so we'll see how that goes. This is a variety of broccoli I've never tried, Rasmus. What I like about it supposedly is a somewhat tolerant to heat, but also really good flavor. If you haven't grown broccoli in your garden, it's a really nice thing to grow. It's very productive and delicious. This squash is a fun one. This one is like a summer squash, but it's small little guys. They call it lemon. They're about the size of a lemon, but they're just like a yellow squash, but they're a good serving size. This Chinese wallflower is something that caught our eye. I'm kind of curious because this is an edible. You can eat the leaves and the flowers, but it's also just a beautiful ornamental plant, so that's what really caught our eye. But I'm kind of curious about using the leaves like in pizzas and salads and that kind of thing. That's sort of fun, but just a really cool one. We've never tried that, so we're going to start those inside so that they bloom early on. Next thing up here is the spoon tomato. We've looked at this thing for years. We're like, you know what, we got to try this. Last year we grew the white currant tomato, which is also a tiny tomato, and it was delicious. So I'm thinking, this looks like a fun one. You know, that'd be good in salads or whatever. It's kind of fun to have little cherry tomatoes. You go out and snack in the garden. So we have a bunch of different cherry varieties. This was a free, I've never heard of this golden crispy melon. This is one of the free seeds that we got. So if you order from Baker Creek, you usually get some free seeds depending on how many packs you order. So this, I guess, is a Japanese melon, sort of small, aromatic. We're going to grow it, see how it does. We've had very poor luck with melons in general, and cucumbers, but we'll find out. This nasturtium, now if you've never grown nasturtiums, they're easy to grow, they're edible, the flowers, the leaves, all the parts of the plant are edible. They're really good in salads. I mean, they're just pretty to grow, but they have a very peppery kind of, I guess is the best way to say it, a very peppery flavor, but they're really good, and they're fun in a salad. Like if you want to make your salad kind of fancy, throw a few of the flowers in there, and they're a really nice edible flower. We grew fennel years ago, and we decided to grow it again. I'll start this right in the garden. You know, most things are good to start in the garden rather than inside, and fennel's one of them. But fennel is such a healthy thing for so many dishes. We've been eating a lot more of it, and so it made sense to grow it. And dandelion, I've made a lot of videos on eating dandelions. I just love eating them. Now I found this pink dandelion in Baker Creek, so we're going to plant that, and hopefully we'll have some tasty pink fried dandelions at some point. That'll probably grow in a container just so that it doesn't get choked out in the yard or something like that. Then we have this China Jade cucumber. I mentioned a minute ago, we don't really have good luck with cucumbers. For some reason, our porch garden in our apartment when we lived in the city, that used to do really well. We had so many cucumbers, but for whatever reason here, cucumbers always give us trouble. So I'm hoping those do well. We'll find out. Radishes, as I mentioned, something we love growing. This is a kind I've never tried before, this golden radish, which looks kind of cool. So, hey, why not give it a try? Radishes are really rewarding to grow in your garden. They grow really fast. It only takes like 30 to 45 days from seed to harvest, and you can just keep them going all summer long. And then I got this Indian coriander because I also got a slow bolt cilantro for like the herb. But we've been harvesting the berries of the coriander. It's a great way to, if you use a lot of coriander in your cooking, just dry them, and then you've got almost like an endless supply. So here's all the seeds kind of piled up, ready to go. You know, a day like today, you're dreaming of spring, and so we look forward to making videos on all these varieties, and we hope you'll join us this summer for that. So thank you for watching, and hopefully you have your own seeds and you're ready to go, and we're all looking forward to a really fun gardening season.